Good evening, everyone. So it's a bit late. I had technical difficulties. So let's see who my co-host tonight is.
Hello, everybody.
Right, I'm going to do Terminator issue 33 and 34. If I bring.
Okay. So this is issue 33 cover. And this week we are going to be doing the left shoulder details. So would you like to go through the parts?
Yes, I just changed the camera angle at the moment.
It's all right. Take the time, Adrian. No rush. Well, don't finish by 2 a.m.
Yes. Don't take 10 hours to do the job.
Okay. Have we lost you?
Oop. No, sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. Right, so
I was just tidying something up and I realised.
The first piece we've got is piece number 1, Thyroidic. I can't even read that from this distance. Thyroidic vertebrae end piece. And that looks like sort of the knuckle bit on a bone.
Hang on, I'm just getting my... So I can't even see the instructions because when it's on live, they can see a lot bigger.
Yeah, you got a small screen.
Right. Piece 1.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
And that is metal.
Okay. Right. That doesn't look like the piece I'm looking at. Yes, it does. It does now. Ah, okay then, right. Yeah, see, I'm looking at a 2-dimensional image and you've got a 3-dimensional piece in your hand.
Yes.
So,
that's
I thought that was like a rounded piece, but it's not. It's more of a fastening, really.
Yeah.
So piece number 2 is the left shoulder end piece.
Yes.
Is that metal as
and
well?
That's metal. Yes, that's metal as well.
Oh, lovely. So piece 3 looks like some sprues. Left shoulder accessory. So is that 2 pieces on there?
Yes. You got
Right.
1 piece there.
Have we seen this before?
Yes, we have.
Right. Okay. And then piece number 4, can't read because there's a wire in the way of the screen.
Piece number 4 would be
left shoulder
that piece there.
Cap. Okay.
It'll be that piece there.
Oh, I see. Right, they've individually labelled the pieces on the sprue rather than labelling the sprue.
Yes.
Okay, so then we go on to number 5, which is left shoulder insert. And that looks like a rubber wire.
Yes, it's plastic, so like a battery sort of thing.
Right, okay. Lovely. And last but not least, we have 3 PM 3 by 6 mil screws, 1 spare. So not a lot of screws.
I've already taken them out of the package and I put one of them away already.
3 screws of which 1 will be spare, or is that 3 screws plus 1 spare?
No, it's 3 screws including 1 spare.
Right. Okay. So we're expecting to do 2 bits of screwing today.
Yes.
Okay. So we will also need a crosshead screwdriver, thick super glue, and a cocktail stick, and the left shoulder assembly from issue 31. Hi, Fleetwood. I need to have a chat with you in the next 24 hours. Regarding colours. How are we getting on, Adrian?
All right. Right. So I'm just moving some pages around, that's all. Right, step 1.
Okay. Have you got a piece from issue 31?
Yes.
Right.
There you go.
Lovely. Right. Okie dokie then. So step 1. Cut the shoulder accessory parts 3 and 4 from the frame. Use a fine file to remove any rough edges. So it looks like it's going to be more manual work today than actual screws and things.
Get a manual back first off. Right, both of those are off.
Okay, lovely. And are they ready to go, or do you just need to give them a quick file?
I think they'll be all right.
Okay, lovely. So step 2 then. Apply a little super glue into the recesses of the cap. I think we can see what's coming. So shall I just have a little look at step 3 as well? I think that these steps are going to work in conjunction with each other, aren't they?
Yes.
So apply a little super glue to the recess of the cap 33.4, which is the little flat bit, and then fit the cap 33.4 into the end of the shoulder accessory 33.3. And this is deja vu for me. I'm pretty sure I've seen this being done before. Would I
Yes,
be
on the probably on the
right
left.
shoulder?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to apply a bit of glue on the internal tabs.
Okay.
It's probably a lot easier holding this one, it is, with some glue on, compared to trying to hold the other one.
Okay. And is this the range glue that I've been hearing about that you're using?
Yes.
Right. And how are you finding that?
I have the paintbrush one at the moment because I couldn't get the vacuum sealed ones.
I do actually
There you
like
go.
paintbrush applicators, but I find that different types of glue have different usages.
Yes.
Most of my gluing is done with a tube that looks similar to the one you just held up. Sorry, I probably got you chatting so long the glue dried. Yeah, I do like my thick super glue gel from Gorilla, but there are times when the cheap Poundland glue is really, really good. And when you want to be a little bit exact, but you want thinner glue, then one with a brush applicator is very good. So it really depends what job you're doing.
And you find this glue, it basically when it dries, it always dry clear, not you don't get a white smudge mark.
That's good to know, because even Gorilla Glue doesn't dry clear. Right, okie dokie. So that's steps 2 and 3 done.
Yes.
So step 4, obviously we want to give drying time. So wherever possible, we don't really want to use that part now, do we?
No.
So after test fitting to check the orientation, apply a little super glue to the flange of the side of the left shoulder assembly from issue 31. And I guess 5 will come into play. So then we're going to fit the shoulder assembly from step 3 over the flange of the shoulder assembly. So do you want to give that a little bit more time to dry, or are you happy with that?
Well, we could go and do, well, we've got the glue in handy. We could always glue the next.
Right. Okay, so we're going to be applying, well, according
Step
to the
6.
instructions, we're going to go, well, we're going to go for 6, are we? And come back
Yes.
to 5 and 4 and 5. Right, so step
Yes.
6 is apply a little super glue to the 4 studs on the shoulder insert 33.5. And then obviously the next stage is to fit that into the shoulder insert 5 into the recesses of the shoulder and on piece 2.
They say plant the plastic one. Guess what? I'm going to plant onto the metal bit.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, you do what works best for you.
Yes.
You'll probably find that the instructions are made what works best for the person who wrote the instructions.
Yes.
You know, there may be 4 or 5 different ways of doing it, but it doesn't mean that any one way is better or wrong. At the end of the day, if it sticks the 2 parts together and you don't have big blobs of glue everywhere, then it must be right.
Yeah. And plus, holding a piece of metal, it's easier holding it and
Yes.
something larger and try to hold something smaller.
Yeah.
With glue on, try and put in place. Right.
Okay, so do you now want to go back to the previous steps?
Guess we can do.
Okay, so we need to apply a little bit of glue to the flange. Can we just see the flange on the side of the left shoulder assembly? There we go. And then we're going to fit the shoulder assembly, and that's going to have 2 pointy bits pointing upwards.
It's going to be like that.
Yeah. I'm sorry for my non-technical language. 2 pointy bits.
No, it's plus I'm going to apply the glue onto this because then you can.
You've done a test fit, I take it.
Yeah, I just quickly tested it.
Fine. So if you've done a test fit, you'll know where the points of contact are.
As you can see, same image, you've got the pointy bits up.
Yeah.
And to be honest,
see, now I would be tempted to clamp that if I could find a clamp that worked.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, you probably only want to sort of press it together for about 10 seconds and it should be fine.
Yes.
When you hear about people saying clamp it together and leave it overnight, they're usually talking about the sort of glues that take longer to dry, like wood glues or epoxies. Where I've played with epoxies, you really need an overnight clamp. Super glue, you don't. But sometimes if you can't quite get the part in hard enough, you're using that clamp to push it.
Yeah, or you find you can't push it close enough with your strength of your hand, but you need to harder pressure.
That's it. You might just find you haven't got the strength in your hand. Right. Okay. So do you want to move on to this next step?
Guess.
Okay. So obviously 6 and 7 we've done. And then we've got step 8. So I'm sensing 2 screws come into play here. So identify the fixing point in the end of the left shoulder assembly circled. Okay. And I'm going to have to slow you down. So fit the shoulder end of, got hiccups now as well, which does help. Fit the shoulder end part 33-2 into the end of the shoulder assembly and fix in place with 2 PM 3x6mm screws.
One thing they've forgotten to point us about is you got that mark there.
Yeah.
That is actually goes located into that there.
Right. I did spot
So basically, this can't go that way because it's not stable enough.
Well, that's good to know then. So you can't put it the wrong way round. It's really nice to know that, you know, when we get to part 70 or 80, we won't have to take it all apart, because we know if it doesn't go in now, it's not going to go in properly.
Yes. They do point other things out, but other things, well, yes, I gather that.
Yeah. Again, it might be down to the person who wrote the instructions. They may have thought that was such a minor part. And don't forget, if they pointed absolutely everything out, the magazine might be 10 times the thickness.
Yes. As I've done is first located the first one in, screwed it in so far. Now I'm moving on to the second one. I'm screwing that one all the way down and going back to the first one.
So you're just keeping them sort of level.
Yes. Well, more than if I had 10 screws I'd put on, I'd actually put them all in my 1-2 mil first.
Yeah.
Then go around. There's no point in putting 9 screws in and try and put the last one in, and the 2 holes are not correctly lined enough.
Because the screws may actually pull the part out of shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if you foul the same place, but if one's slightly off, it throws them all off.
Yeah.
Because if you screw it down tight, you can't move the plate.
Yeah. That's it. Right. Okay, so is that now the stage complete? So an end piece and an accessory have been fitted to the left shoulder. Part 33-1 will be used in the next issue. So I'm reluctant to say this because that didn't thrill me that much, but without those pieces that we've added, it would probably not look wrong, but you might look at it and go, oh, it's not right. So they're very necessary pieces. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's coming along and it's nice, but it just, you know, but then I'm all about the model growing. You know, personally, I'd rather have the whole model done in 10 issues, but obviously that's not going to work for them, is it?
Well, you could do that. It's probably be cost about £50 an issue.
Yeah, which is not within my price range.
Yes.
Okay, so do you want to have a look at the next issue?
Yes.
Okie dokie. So this is the one I've been practicing saying, but I don't know if I've got it right. We are going to assemble the first. Oh, it's vertebra. Oh, do you know what? I think, you know, when you struggle with a word and you break it down, don't you? And maybe I broke that word down too much. Yeah, it's the first vertebra. Yeah, I can see it now. Right, so that's issue 34 and the first vertebra. So now we've got some hard words. Thoracic vertebra frame. How's that? There's probably people out there laughing.
Could be, yes.
So that looks like a bit of a triangle with a cross in the middle.
Yes.
There we go.
And that's metal.
Okay. So piece 2 is the thoracic vertebra part, and that looks like
That's metal as well.
a bit coming out of it. That's metal as well. Part 3 is 5 M2. Is that rods? Nuts. 5 M2 nuts. So they're very small nuts. M2
Yes.
generally means machine screws or machine nuts. Yeah, they are small.
Can you see that?
Yeah. So good luck with you on this, because a lot of the things I work with the M4s a lot, but when I'm doing a lot of the 3D printed models, the M3 comes up a lot, and basically it's that hole in the middle where the screw's going to go through. That's a 2mm screw. So we are talking very small now. I don't particularly love the M2s because they're a little bit fiddly. So then we've got 34/4 3 PM 2x6mm screws. So is that do you think the PM might mean it's an M2 screw?
Yeah, I'm not sure on the coding on these screws, basically, because you've got because that's how small.
Yeah, that's small. I'm suggesting that might be a 2mm screw, like an M2 screw. So we are talking fiddly. So if you do these with no problems, please may I be the first to congratulate you, because I know from my own experience how fiddly it is. So lastly, we've got 3 PM 2x8mm screws, and that will be the same screw but a little tiny bit longer.
Yes. And that's that one.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, there's not much difference, is there?
Yeah.
And the longer screws are a little bit harder to work with because they don't want to stay on the screwdriver quite so much.
Well, depends what you're doing, though, isn't it? Sort of thing.
Yeah. So I can't read this last bit because it's just white on black, and it's a long way from my eyes. But I can see that we're going to need a crosshead screwdriver and the thoracic something from issue 33. So basically, the part we used last
Not
issue.
that one. It's a part we hadn't used. This one.
Yeah. Lovely. Right. So stage 1 is we need to fit 2 M2 nuts into the recesses on either side of the narrow end of the thoracic vertebra frame. I'm not reading up anatomy. Ensure that the nuts are sitting completely flat within the recesses. So this comes up a lot with 3D prints, and it will come up a lot on the tractor. What you do is you're going to be placing 2 nuts in, and then there will be a screw coming in from the other side. So as the screw tightens, it actually pulls the nut into the piece. So I can see now where the screws are going to come from. Because if you look at that piece, that looks like that's the inside that we're seeing. But for that particular piece, it's actually going to be the outside, isn't it?
Yes, I reckon.
Yeah. Now, a little tip for you. You don't have to follow this. But if you struggle with those, like if you need to move that part around before you put the screws in, and those screws don't fit perfectly, you can pop in a little tiny dab of PLA glue, and the glue won't hold it permanently, but it will hold it enough to stop it from falling out.
Right, they're in there.
Brilliant. Are they in quite tight? Go
No,
on.
I think they're quite
Go on.
loosely in there.
Throw the part across the room and see if they fall out.
They do fall out.
Right. Okay. So you might want to consider the PLA glue method. I suspect we might be okay tonight because we're only dealing with a couple. But if you do, I mean, I know when I did the first pack of the part work printer, I did a lot of gluing to hold them in because there were just so many of them and you couldn't hold them all in. So
Right. Do you know my trick how to get those small ones in?
go on then. Let's see how your trick compares to mine.
Right. I got the long screw.
Yeah.
Put the knot on the end. Then put it in the hole and unscrew it.
Yeah, that's actually a very similar trick to mine, but mine applies more to 3D prints. Sometimes when you do 3D prints, oh, I think the mic might be upset. Right, yeah, when you do 3D prints, sometimes those holes don't quite form properly, and you can't get the nut in properly. And what I find actually works quite well, let's say, for example, an 8mm screw is supposed to go in there. What I do is I'll actually screw in the part using a 10mm screw. And then as you tighten it, it will pull the nut in. Then you undo the 10mm screw, sorry, the bigger screw, but the nut will stay in the hole. And then you put the correct screw in. So it's just you using something just to pull the nut in place.
Guess.
Right, so we've placed the nuts in place. So, see, now I can see where that's coming from. So we need to take part 33.1, which is the part from the previous issue, and fit its opening onto the large socket of the end of the frame, 44.1. Ensure that the screw sockets on part 33.1 sit beneath the recesses in part 34.1 with the M2 nuts. So we're not screwing anything yet.
All we're doing is just locating it.
Right. Okay, so that looks like that 33.1 is going to go over there's like a rod bit on the top of the vertebra.
Yes.
Oh, I see exactly what you've done.
You can't you've got slide in.
Right. And then I see, and then that kind of it kind of slots in. Okay.
Guess.
So step 3, turn the assembly over. So you may actually want to remove one of those nuts or hold it with your finger. Taking care that the M2 nuts stay in place. Fix parts 33.1 in place with 2 PM2 by 8mm screws. So that's the longer ones.
Yep. They're nice and tight.
Okay, now that's looking nice now. So I know obviously we've just made a piece there that theoretically could have been made as one piece. Do you think that could have been? Or do you think it might be a little bit too complex?
It's for start, one's shinier, one's not.
Right.
It could be.
So it could be the materials used that we need.
Yes, and probably one might be covered over, and the other piece could be as
Right.
unshown.
Okay, so we think there's a reason. I mean, obviously, you know, we would have lost 3 stages there if it was molded in one. If it was molded in one piece, so maybe be
Yes.
thankful we got a bit more to do. Right. So
You find that's below
sorry,
the neckline. That piece there could be
right,
below the neckline,
yeah.
and there could be something over there because you got a screw hole there and a screw hole there.
Okay.
Something could cover over that, but you can still see that.
Yeah.
That piece could be more quality metal compared to this one.
Yeah. Okay.
So
the less quality part metal might be there, might be a little bit less quality for a reason.
guess.
Right. Okay. All right then. So that's probably an unnecessary discussion that I've just created there, but you know me, I'll waffle on about anything. Right. So stage 4, we need to fit 2 M2 nuts into the recesses at the bottom of the bit that I struggle with.
Saying.
So let's have another go for entertainment purposes. Thoracic vertebra frame. If that is wrong, please write your correct answers on a postcode and address it to I don't really care, PO Box 73. I'm doing my best. So there, NP na na na. But that waffle sounds nice, Penny. Makes me some. Oh, waffles. Do you know what? I've still got a lot of waffles in a box that got sent to me through the post. A nice little funny joke there, actually. And I've got to be honest with you, right? If you want to make a point that I waffle on a lot by sending me waffles, I have no objection to that. It's just a shame that talking a lot wasn't actually referred to as chocolating. And then maybe Adrian would have sent me a box full of chocolate. Right, so you've got the 2 nuts in there?
I've actually only put one in. I'm going to put a screw in the other one then.
Right.
Then I'm going.
Okay, so step 5 is to fit the large socket on. Oh, God. They're punishing me today, aren't they? Fit the large socket on the thoracic vertebra frame, 34-1, into the opening in the thoracic vertebra part, 34-2. I'm going to find who made these medical terms and I'm going to beat them with a tray.
Right, it slots in like so.
Okay, so same principle as the top. It's kind of a shaped, and it's gonna go together as though it's one piece.
Yes.
And this is actually a little bit more thrilling for me than the last issue because I can see things growing and things are fitting nicely. So we need to turn the assembly over, taking care that the M2 nuts stay in place. Fix parts 34-2 in place with 2 PM 2x6mm screws. So that's the smaller of the 2 screws. And I suspect the only screws you've got left. And the arrow indicates the position of the second screw.
Okay.
So it's basically either side of that little round knobbly bit.
Yeah, one's One screw hole's there, one screw hole's there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put the other one in now. Right, those two are done.
Lovely. Lovely. So that's looking nice now, isn't it?
Yes.
So, oh, and that's it. Stage complete. So,
That's it.
2 parts have been. See, what I was expecting was that piece on that you've just done on the bottom, what looks like the bottom right from the way I'm looking. I was expecting you to do the same on the. I was expecting you to do the same on the other side. So you've basically taken a small triangle and making it into a larger triangle.
Yes.
Sort of a boomerang type shape.
Yes. And that is the right.
Yeah. So do you think, I mean, obviously you've got access to issues, haven't you? But do you think that, well, let's have a look at next week, shall we? That might give us the, oh, look at that. Next week, we will be continuing to work on the I'm not doing this next week. I'm not going to do any more issues that have thoracic vertebra in. So I'm suspecting from those parts that we are going to place that next piece in, but I can't figure out what those 2 black circles are. So I suspect that may be, I know you can't see it very well, but between the 2 bottom bits, there we go. I'm going to guess they're there for some reason. I don't know. So that'd be interesting. So I'm now looking forward to next week. So it's funny, actually. That's karma for you, isn't it? Because I kind of called the previous issue that it didn't thrill me that much, but I saw the importance of it. And then the second issue has thrilled me twice as much as normal. So that's good. That's good.
Well, one of those bits you're going to have to look after and keep for next time.
Right. Okay. I'm going to guess that'll be the black bits then, will it?
No.
Is that your way of saying you're right, but I'm not going to tell you?
I'm going to say you're probably wrong, but I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. Now that's fine because I like the speculation games. I know some people aren't bothered by them. Sometimes I get the speculation right. Sometimes I get it wrong. You know, and it's just as much fun either way. And sometimes I can get the speculations right because I've got them wrong in the past, and you start to understand how the creator or creators have worked.
Yes.
So it really doesn't help me that I lose 1 issue a month and I have to play catch up, and you kind of lose the rhythm a little bit. But no, it's
well,
not.
You did miss out 3 issues last time.
I know. I feel awful, but so there's been a lot going on in the chat. But Chris Davies has just said that he's enjoying the build. So what else have we got? I am gonna understandably skip some of the chat.
Here we go. Quick, what you've missed. There you go.
Oh wow. I'm gonna have to do some catch up. I think I'm gonna have to spend all Sunday in bed watching YouTube. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yes.
That's coming along, isn't it?
That point there is when you rotate your shoulder backwards and forwards.
Right.
When you rotate that one, that's like move your arm forwards and backwards.
Yeah.
And that one there is when you move your arm up and down.
Right. This is a clever bit of kit, isn't it? I mean, the joints.
And
the
that's
joints
your
are
elbow
actually
joint.
yeah. The joints are actually quite simple, really, aren't they? But the way they're put together, although that's usually what complex things are, they're just a collection of simple things put together. And because there's a lot of them, wow, do you remember that hand when we were building it?
Yes.
And I really wasn't sure if that hand was the right scale. I thought it looked a little bit small, but once you put all of the pieces together. So, yeah, part of me is regretting cancelling the subscription. However, you know, I'm taking part in this build, and that's freed up money for other builds. But most importantly, Adrian, how are you finding the build?
Okay, so far.
Yeah. Are you actually enjoying it?
Yes.
Right. Is it?
I rather when I get the magazine. I wish I could just open the magazine up and get on with it.
That's exactly what I find with the Route Master. I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, you know, especially when you get subscription issues come through, and you've got like 3 or 4 issues in front of you, and you're like, I want to build them. And but then if you build them all at once, you've then got to wait 4 weeks for the next issues.
It's like, well, when I came back, I could sat down and build 5 issues in one go.
Yeah, I saw your mailbag when you came back. Guys, just to give you a rough idea of how much mail Adrian had when he came back, the postman gave him a free plastic crate because that's what they put the mailbag in.
No, I had a plastic crate. I had a mail sack and a plastic crate.
Yeah.
For my mail.
If I'm lucky, I get a couple of rubber bands off my postman, but you get a plastic crate and a mail sack.
I found it very handy actually, because guess what I put in my plastic crate?
I don't know. What do you put in your plastic crate?
Well, let's get the plastic crate handy.
Wow, I think I recognise those bags. So Fleetwood
What do you think that is?
Oh, now could that be a roof of something?
Oh, yes, it could be.
So I'll just say this. Chris Davies says, that's good, Adrian. Glad you're enjoying it. It's like me with Jag and the bus. Fleetwood J says, hats off, Adrian. Well done. Excellent build. It is. I think it really is a good build. And I think we're well enough into the build now to see where it's going to go. And it is a good quality build. And then Chris Davies says, agrees with Fleetwood. So Chris Davies also said if he had the money, he might build this too. It looks so tempting. Well, if anybody's saving their money for the Iron Man, you can free that money up now, because I actually got a letter this morning saying that they've suspended it, which isn't cancelled, but we knew that was only at test phase, didn't we?
Yes.
So and I'm a bit annoyed with Hachette because I'm probably gonna cancel my subscription. I don't know what I'm gonna do now actually, but for the first time ever, they've taken payment before I've received the parts. But they dispatched the parts 2 weeks ago, so I'm wondering. I do apologise. I've got my shirt on because I have. If I sit like that, that's better, isn't it? There you go. I'll tell you what, I've got a better idea. It's not that I can't display logos and things. It's just that if I don't display a logo, people can't complain, can they? So I'm looking a little bit short at the moment, but I am only 5'4". So yeah, I forgot what I was saying there now. Yeah, so yeah, it's now been 2 weeks since they allegedly sent the parts out, so I don't know. I'll probably give it till Monday, but they do seem to be falling behind, because if I get it Monday, I'll get up to issue 90, and I'll get it 2 days before issue 90 comes out of the shop. So unless they change the release schedule in the shops, you now have a distinct advantage by buying from the shops.
Yes.
So, but on the other hand, the subscription that I've got for P40, they have actually now, they haven't dispatched anything, but they have now actually set the subscription details up. So I think I might actually, I don't know, I might see if they get those. So it's easier with subscriptions because you don't have to go down the shop. You don't have to pay. I mean, obviously, if I'm buying a subscription for someone else, I don't have to worry about the money because we will know when it's due. So obviously, when the payment's due, I'll get the money before it's due, so I'll have the money. But getting it every week is just a little bit. Although saying that, it's I go down the shop every week anyway, but it's just setting the initial shop up because they're struggling to get 3 issues in. So right, Adrian, is there anything you need to talk about?
No.
Do you think they're short issues, these Terminators? I noticed that we build them quite quick.
Yes, they seem a bit short.
Are you?
It's probably when you start putting stuff together, it'll seem a lot
Yeah.
longer.
I mean, is there anyone would have a problem with the short issues? I mean, obviously in an ideal situation, we'd be spending 2 hours building it, but that's never going to happen. I don't think it ever has happened, maybe with the exception of a few issues. Sorry, I'm quite jittery today. I do apologize. So I can't find good lighting. I mean, obviously, like the 5-minute issues, we don't enjoy. Well, we do. We can enjoy them, but they're short, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they never seem to give us 4 short issues. I mean, if we sat down and we did a month's worth of issues in 20 minutes, that would be disappointing.
Of course, yes.
Right. Chris Campling said anything can happen in the future. The R2 was small till the later issues. Yes, and then you got these big panels, didn't you? And then even once you got the panels in, the small issues from then were quite exciting because you were putting like blue bits into silver bits, which was making the whole thing pop. And I'm actually finding that with the larger one. Once you start putting different colors together, it's like, wow. So
Yes. Yeah, you start with something small and then gradually like
yeah.
a bit like the bus.
Yes. Oh God,
You
yeah.
start with something small and you add something else to it. And
Was it 16 that just suddenly went?
yes.
Do you know a little part?
You always got to start small somewhere.
Yeah.
Then gradually grows and grows and grows.
A small part of me misses the days when it was a cab and a chassis, and sort of if you squinted your eyes at it and looked at it, you couldn't tell the difference between a truck and the bus. You know, the way you've got the chassis, the bare chassis and the cab. And now look at it. That is not just a cab and a chassis anymore, is it?
No.
So, but that's not going to grow an awful lot more now, is it? We've got the roof to go on. but that's pretty much at the height it's going to be. But that's fantastic. That's so close to finishing, and that's the biggest model I've ever seen, possibly with the exception of some of the large-scale aircraft that I've seen. But they're mostly wingspans, aren't they?
Yes.
So, yeah. Millennium Falcons, actually, that's large. I'm not going to grab mine. So, and I really don't like that camera. That's better. I was on the what do you think is coming? Well, you know what's coming, don't you? I'm just trying to make up questions here, and I'm just
Query about things.
maybe I'm tired.
What was the image we shown? Oh, that's right. Yeah, we shown you showing these ones.
What's small and stay small? Okay, that's next week's issue, is it?
Guess.
Okay. Oh, I think I know what the black bits are for then.
What do you think black bits are for?
Well, that triangle is obviously going to go over the previous triangle to make more depth to it. Well, Fleetwood, that fear is small, but it will grow.
Actually, if I position it like that,
Yes. Yeah.
because that's going more like that sort of thing.
Right. Okay. Big spoiler there, but that's fine. Big spoiler.
You want to bet it's a smaller? Here's another spoiler.
Go on then. Don't spoil the whole build, will you? Oh. Okay. Nice.
How do I know that's back?
Because you cheated.
No.
You went.
I gathered the neck will go in there.
Yeah.
But if you look underneath, you got a straight bar there.
Yes. So you didn't go to the Hachette studios with a shotgun and go, tell me what's going to happen or I'll blow your head off.
No, it didn't work out.
Adrian has claimed to have gone on a 2-week relaxation holiday to Spain, and he's come back with an in-depth knowledge of the Terminator. Maybe the truth is being uncovered here.
Yeah, I went to South Africa instead.
Yeah. What's going to happen? Tell me. So, bear with me a sec, guys. I'm just having a bit of a panic moment with the 3D printer. Right. Okay. Basically, what happened was this morning before I went to work, I got some prints going for Adrian. And I came home and the wheels that I'm doing for him, they just stopped at 1 hour 38 minutes. And it was like there wasn't a power cut. It just stopped. So I thought, okay, well, something's happened. So I restarted the print and it stopped again on the second print at exactly the same time. But it can't be the position of the print because partway through I turned the speed up. So it actually produced more print on the second print. Now I produced another set of wheels for my own second tractor. It's coming out a little bit dodgy, but it's gone well beyond 1 hour 38. But what I've done on the first one is I've what's that? Dave say, great stream, Adrian Penny. Unfortunately, I'm getting blamed for the chat. Oh, I haven't seen anything that you're getting blamed for. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, so I resliced, made a completely new file for the wheels, and I've only done 2 large wheels. So I'm printing that off, and it's getting close to the 1 hour 38 mark. So I think we're about 10-15 minutes away. But the other one, where there's a little bit of a defect in the wheel, but it's actually producing what will look like a functional print. Where the defect is, it's actually going to be on the inside of the wheel, so you won't see it, because obviously it's got to build the front of the wheel up, because it builds it from the back up to the front. So yeah, Fleetwood says you've slept on an encyclopedia of the Terminator, and Chris Davies says that you're saying all your secrets. So yeah,
Yes.
we're like the YouTube Gestapo. We have ways of making you talk. We will reveal the truth, Adrian, over the next 70. How many issues? It's 100 or 120?
120.
All right, so we've got another 90 odd issues, 80 odd issues to go. That'll soon fly, Adrian. That really will.
Yes.
You'll soon be getting sad
Oh,
at this.
look at the Root Master, basically.
Yeah. Chris Davies is quoting song lyrics at us now. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Actually, 86 issues left to go.
It's wow. So that means we've done quite a lot. Wow. 40. Yeah, 40. Wow, so we've still got a lot of catching up to do. So another stream next week. So we'll be doing 2 issues next week.
Yes.
So I will try to catch the I will try to
Then probably another 2 issues after then, and
yeah.
I'll be up to date.
Brilliant. Look forward to that. Well, I'm not going to get too excited just yet, because we nearly got up to date, and then between you and me having problems, we fell a bit behind, and then you had your holiday. So but we potentially could. I mean, I've got to admit, with the problems that Adrian was having pre-stream, I wasn't sure if there was going to be a stream tonight. But Adrian tried the reboot, and it seemed to have been fine. But you were fine right up until about 5 to 8, weren't you?
Yes.
So that was funny. Maybe it's just it has the 8 o'clock jitters, but we'll get you there. It's coming along, isn't it?
Yes.
So, do you mind if I do the? Chris Davies says, "Chris, catch a bus and you'll catch up." Do you mind if I do the week summary?
Yes, certainly.
Right. So tomorrow we are doing a tractor on my channel. The main focus tomorrow will be talking about modifications. I've got a couple of little printed bits that I can show off, but we'll mainly be looking at potential mods. It turns out that the tractor project has got so many different projects. Other people have been doing little bits for it, and then obviously there's bits that we're assuming the tractor is 1 to 10 scale until we can prove that it's another scale. So based on it being 1 to 10 scale, there's lots of 1 to 10 scale bits. Not necessarily anything to do with the tractor, but maybe things that we could use. So for example, there's tools, and I wondered if perhaps I could print lots of tools off, paint them with I've got some rust paint, so maybe just print lots and lots of bits off, paint them with a rust paint, and then just fling them all in a box and make them look like a box of rusty tools. Not directly related to the tractor, but can fit in with the tractor. Sunday is going to be Dave Say. Dave Say is going to be doing one of his lovely, I know them by a different name, but basically just chat and have fun streams. kind of, he's going to be the Val Doonican of the YouTube world. He's going to sit in his rocking chair, smoking his pipe with his cardigan on, and we're all going to sit cross-legged, with, you know, and having lots of fun. Monday. Now, who streams Monday, Adrian? Can you remember?
I can't remember.
No.
I think it starts with a C.
Does it start with a C? Could it be one of the Chris's?
Could be.
So yeah, Chris Campling does. I have actually genuinely forgot what he's doing. Oh, he does his Terminator. It is Terminator, isn't it?
Yeah, he has a Terminator, but at the moment has he not received issue 27? He's doing the X-Wing at the moment.
That's right. That's why I've forgotten what he's doing. So, Chris Campling, what do you think you're doing Monday? Do you think you'll be doing X-Wing? Will you definitely be doing Terminator? No problems, Dave. Say it's. I do love your channel, and I do love. I mean, what I know them as in the model world is sit and talk shit. Is what they're called. You just sit there but obviously when you're painting, hobbying, it's like you're sitting there painting and you just talk about whatever springs to mind. Obviously yours is going to be a lot more focused than that. Right, so Chris Campling, as it stands, most probably X-Wing. I'm assuming if your parts came in Monday morning, then you might be doing Terminator. So Tuesday, I believe, is going to get very exciting because Chris Davies has now received Jag parts. So that's fun. Going to be good. Wednesday. I know something happens on a Wednesday. What happens Wednesdays?
Oh, I think it involves a bus driver, doesn't it?
The bus, yeah. Okay, so we might do a bit of bus. Might even do 2 issues. And then that leaves Thursday, which I believe will be most likely a World of Wayne day because he didn't. I'm going to turn this light. I love this light, but I'm going to have to get. I got actually stolen the idea from Fleetwood. This light actually shines. You see where I used to paint and I used to miss a lot. I might just design a little guard or diffuser just at the front, so it won't stop the light coming down, but it might stop the light coming in my eyes. Or just a piece of paper actually taped to the top. So yeah, Thursday is going to be World of Wayne Day, I think. Chris, do you do? Oh, gross.
He does it fortnightly.
Does Thursdays, look. So we've got gross models. We've got. I might be Jag or bus Tuesday. Depends if I had the Jag. Oh, Chris, I thought you had the Jag. I do apologise. Okay. Oh, Dave says just reminded me Routemaster is Wednesday is Routemaster Day. How could I forget Wednesday is Routemaster Day? So Thursdays you've got a choice of lots of things, and then that takes us to next Friday, which is you again, Adrian. So looking forward to that. Other than that, I've got no updates. So give us a shout when we're almost towards the end of the stream, because I do want to put my stern Auntie Penny hat on. So back over to you as your stream, Adrian.
Actually, I think you said everything. I think I could end the show now.
Okay, so I'm going to put my stern Auntie Penny hat on. I don't need to go into any details, but obviously I was watching the chat as we were building. Can I just say, guys, if you have a problem with anybody in particular, whether you're right to have a problem or you're wrong to have a problem, just ignore them. If you want perhaps the channel owner to perhaps change the way the stream is run, maybe have a little chat with the stream owner and say, I don't like this being done, I do like this. Then it's down to the stream owner to review your comments, and then they will say, no, actually, I like that element of my stream, I'm going to keep it in. Or, yeah, okay, you are right. Because remember, all of our streams evolve. Most of us seem to follow the rule that we don't have rules because we should all be adult enough to police it ourselves. So the first thing really is, if you have a problem with someone, like I say, you know, I might be offended by, let's see a comment, right? I might be offended by Chris saying Jag, as opposed to saying Jaguar. Most of you will think that's quite silly, but it might be a serious issue for me. So I would then ignore Chris Davies every time he says Jag, and I'll just go, and then I would perhaps drop Adrian a comment and go, look, I really don't like the word Jag being used. I know that's a really silly example, but I'm just trying to make a point that you may not always feel that something's offensive, but the first and foremost, if you are offended, if someone's being an out-and-out snowflake, I'll be honest with you, I won't have much sympathy for you. I've always grown up with, if something is offensive to you, ignore it. You know, don't like a TV program, get your remote control out and change the channel, you know, that kind of thing. So
yes, exactly.
I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong here. I'm just saying maybe just ignore them. So and we'll probably all be friends again tomorrow anyway. So, and if you feel you're taking part in an argument, just back off a little bit. I know if someone makes a comment at you, I know what it's like to feel the need to reply. But if you ever need to vent, message me on Facebook and I'll just sit there and listen. I may not even make comment, but I'll allow you to vent. If you want to send me 400 messages if you send me them after midnight, I probably won't read them till the morning. But yeah, if I know what it's like to have to reply. I'm very much a last word person. So, you know, Adrian might say to me, trouble you, Penny, you've always got to have the last word. And then I'll go, no, I don't. And then he'll go, see? And I'll go, no, that don't count. Whatever happens, I've got to get the last word in, whether I realize I'm doing it or not. So Fleetwood J says, got his Quitco Eureka box, the ukulele, on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. So I will look forward to that. I don't know if everyone else has seen it, but I have seen it. So that actually looks quite exciting. I can't play musical instruments, but I do quite like. So I'd like to see how that was made. Maybe I could design a project like that. And Chris Davies says those lovely words that I always love to hear. We all love you, Penny and Adrian. So keep the love flowing, guys. And if you don't love someone, just like them, or at least pretend to. So enough said now. My stern Auntie Penny hat has come off now.
Well said.
Thank you.
It's good night from me, and it's
good night from Penny. Sorry, I thought you were saying good night from Penny, and I was going to say it myself. Right, so take care, guys. Looking forward to tomorrow. Well, that'll be the greatest anticlimax the world has ever seen. So,
yes.
well, take care, guys. Miss you all.